Boys?
Richard.
Gentlemen.
Ooh, that looks way better, Ray.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, look at you.
Hey, professional, guys. Professional.
He's in the media now.
Media member. You can see my fucking physique and everything. Oh, my God.
Is that a Bledsoe jersey?
Not even fucking close, bro. Not even close.
Well, it is close because it's 11. And it's a Patriots jersey, so it actually is pretty fucking close, Ray.
Oh, God.
Very close.
Is that not accurate?
It's pretty accurate. You're right. I was wrong.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Is that camera? Can you zoom in anymore, or did you just like throw it up there and turn it on?
What do you think?
Very well. Okay. I guess I'll buy it and fuck around with it and then tell you what to do with it, okay?
Thank you. That's all I asked for. That's all I asked. Not a lot.
How dare me?
I send you the link.
I send Sunday by.
I send you a link. You fucking figure it out. All right? Jesus. Come on.
Understood. Yeah. No, I broke protocol in that work relationship conversation that we have going on, and my bad. I'll put that one on me. Bill,
Just
be
better, Rich.
Sunday. You feeling
good?
Sleepy? You sleepy eyes?
Oh, I'm feeling great today.
Yeah.
You feeling like bad words today or no?
Just feeling good.
Do you have all the equipment set up? Because I feel like there's no light on you.
Me?
There's light right here. Is that better?
It's just shining off his gray beard.
It's on.
Just the
gray just takes it all
sucks
in.
in all the light.
Yeah.
Ooh, Jesus.
It is. I mean, it's on.
We're gonna stay lips down on this, boys. What a Sunday! You guys catching any football? I don't care.
Hey, Bill, how's your fantasy
Dallas. Team? Oh, I don't want to talk.
No one cares about your fantasy.
I don't want to talk fantasy. I don't want to talk fantasy. No one cares. It's right, and I don't care today, but I fucking hate it.
Fucking Dallas, huh?
Fucking
Jesus
Dallas.
Christ, what a game.
Let's get into it. Welcome to Simple Mind Sports Show, Monday headline, September 21st.
Nice.
Nice job.
You roll.
Nice
What's
job.
up with a brick behind you? You just slap some white paint on it?
The calendar is a big one for me. You know, Bill,
He's married.
I'm a creative mind, okay? And when things boil up and you have vision and you just attack it and you see what happens, all right?
Looks good.
I thought you got Pro Football Focus and you fucking had a little moment by yourself down in the basement.
Yeah, it just looks like a bunch of jizz stains on the brick. I mean, just
we're 2 steps away from completion here. Ray's mom knows what I'm talking about, and so you got to take it a little bit at a time, and that's where we are right now. But I'm a slave to the show, and this is when we're doing the show. So, this is what we're working with right now. Is that okay with you, Queen?
Perfect.
Or shall you guys run the show and I'll get behind me and start painting?
No, you're fine.
Okay, fine. Very good.
No, we see how it goes on Thursday pick'em shows. It doesn't go that well.
Hey, he's new at this. He's new at this.
All right.
And for game number 2.
All right. What do we got?
Bill, that line's backwards. No, it's not. I wrote it down. Yeah, but you wrote it down backwards.
It was an accident.
No,
One
no, I
fucking
didn't.
mistake.
No, I
I'm sorry.
didn't.
One mistake. My bad.
It's not the mistake, Bill. It's the twisting your arm 7,000 ways to get you to admit the mistake.
That might be your one mistake, but your parents' one mistake has lasted 60 years and it's been their downfall ever since.
35.
You're not 35. Come on. Yeah. Don't lie to listeners.
You're the oldest one on this fucking show, dickface.
Bill was a test tube baby in the 50s in the Cold War when they tried to create the worst humans possible and send them over to Russia to take their country down from the inside out.
It worked. That was the reason why Chernobyl blew up.
Well done. Speaking of blowing up, the Celtics have not blown up their series yet. How do you like that little transition? Game 3 win, 117-106 over the Heat. 2 nights ago, whenever we released this, we always fuck that up. Recording on Sunday, releasing on Monday. Game was on Saturday night. 117-106. Just to quickly recap, the game went the same exact way as every game has fucking went, except the Celtics actually pulled it off. That's what I want to talk about, kind of some of the reasons why, obviously, but got out to an early lead. I think they had a 13-point lead at halftime. Didn't lose the third quarter for the first time, I think, in months.
Second time.
One by two. One by
Second
two.
time.
1-2, 24-26, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
20-point lead in the fourth quarter, which they blew. they just happened to get, there was their biggest lead over the Heat over the series, and they waited the longest amount of time so far to blow it. But they did basically blow it. Heat got it down to 5 with 2 minutes and change left. They made it a game that, Marcus Smart hit 8 clutch free throws at the end, and they just kind of dragged it out. I never really felt like, I felt like, oh shit, because you're watching the Celtics, but it didn't feel like the Heat were making a run. It didn't seem like that enough time. But, watching the Celtics blow a lead is just common occurrence there. So, Dr. Big Mac, watching the game, what was your biggest takeaway from Game 3?
Oh, you already said it. Won the third quarter, 26-24. That's huge. Also, Gordon Hayward played 31 minutes, which none of us predicted that. We thought it was going to be minute restriction. And I'm the biggest hater on this show about Gordon Hayward. But do you know who didn't see the floor? Olynyk. Olynyk didn't see the floor. Ojeleye, excuse me. Ojeleye didn't see the floor at all that game. So that's a refreshing
Olynyk didn't
thing.
really see the floor either on the other side.
I apologize. It's the O's.
They kind of ticked through it.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead, right?
No, but still, even though he had a bad shooting night, this is his first game back from, over a month. It's refreshing to see a bench that actually can provide defense, minutes off the bench, good quality minutes off the bench, and, show up. It was nice.
Bill?
Yeah, and the fact that he didn't start, they still weren't at the same starting unit. But again, Brad's small rotations, Wanamaker, and now you're seeing Cantor, and then you had Hayward and Grant Williams off the bench. You're not seeing Time Lord this series, which you did well in Toronto. So you're kind of seeing there's still 8 or 9 rotation. You had your 4 stars play over 40 minutes, or your 4 starters play over 40 minutes. And Tice was right around 30 or under, and then you had 30 out of Hayward. So, you're seeing him just let it play. You saw it, Jalen and Jason Tatum both had good games. Marcus Smart again. So, you saw him close it, but again, you can't be trying to blow second half leads, double-digit leads. You try to do it for the third time in the series, and you can't do it. Come on. This series should be 3-0 Celtics if you don't piss away leads.
Yeah, you're right. 3-0 maybe. You got to give the Heat a little bit of credit. I think more so in Game 1 than Game 2 on that comeback. The Celtics were completely complicit in Game 2.
Quit on the team.
But Game 1, Game 1, the Heat shut the fucking lights out. And this is what they've been doing all bubble long. So 3-0, maybe not. 2-1, sure. Last night, they went back into their quote-unquote prevent offense in the fourth quarter, where normally they were doing in the third quarter. You're up by 20 in the fourth with something like 11 and change left, and you go back to the one-on-one offense where you're running the timeout because you think that's the best way to win this game. No. So that's a Brad decision to me that he allows them to do that. I think the players had a lot to do with Game 3. Blowing that 20-point lead is not something I want to focus on because they won the game, but they went back to the same shitty habits. I hope that they can recognize that and continue to put the foot on the gas pedal like they did in Game 3, which is what I do want to focus on, because I thought Jaylen Brown was a tone setter, and when Jaylen Brown is your tone setter, you win. That's kind of I would venture a guess if some nerd dove into the fucking stats that if Jaylen Brown leads some fucking crazy stat with it that we don't know in terms of tone setting and points and whatever else, that the Celtics win 90% of the time. Because that's generally what you see. Marcus Smart fell right back into his role, and he was terrific in it. Clutch, late 3 free throws, the last 10 points for the Celtics in the game, 8 of them at the line, and big winning plays. And he didn't try to beat Allen Iverson in the fourth quarter. He let other guys do it. Jason Tatum, if he can quietly be the best player and fill the stat sheets in every single game, that's exactly what I need out of Jason Tatum at this point. Because we've seen he can't be trusted with the ball in those clutch times. I think that is defined and done in 2020 bubble Celtics. Jason Tatum's not that guy yet. Don't ask him to be. Just let him be your best player for all game long. Are we there yet, Bill? That's not a superstar, non-superstar question, but I think between the turnovers, shitty handle, bricks on bricks on bricks, when given the opportunity to make a difference in the game, one-on-one, Kobe Bryant style, Jason Tatum has not lived up to that yet, and his best contributions come within the offense, within the team at this point in his career.
I'll agree with that.
Budding superstar. Thank you, Bill.
No, he's still a superstar in my eyes. He's your leading rebounder too. Remember that, 14 boards again. I mean, he's leading the team in scoring and rebounds in the playoffs. So I mean,
he was almost at a triple double at halftime.
Yeah, 8 assists. He had 8 assists to finish. So I mean, you're seeing him make plays and fill up the stat sheet. So I think, especially the third-year leap that he's making this year. I mean, he's coming into a great all-around player. And again, I think he took a little backseat to Jaylen Brown too, and a little bit of Kemba Walker, because you kind of see him quietly the last 2 games kind of break out of his little slump from Toronto in Game 1. So you're kind of seeing it now.
He's getting his shot back. And let me throw a little bit of the limited basketball knowledge that I have on Jaylen Brown being the guy last night. Well, first, we would be remiss not to talk about because I don't think we touched on this, the skirmish after the game in the locker room.
Game 2, yeah.
Which with all the reportings that have come out was basically Marcus Smart ripping everyone a new one, Jaylen Brown coming, and facing him, which is what Jaylen Brown just does. We know he did that with Kyrie too. The reports are Marcus Smart was pissed at everybody for not being held accountable. Jaylen Brown said, "This isn't the way to do this. Let's stay a team." Yada yada yada. Kemba and Tatum were peacemakers. Brad Stevens had a midnight meeting with those 4 leaders to kind of get on the same page. And I think in the game, you saw everybody reset to what they do best and play Celtic basketball. So a lot of talk about, is this them crumbling and falling like we saw in Milwaukee with Kyrie, or could this be a moment where they figure it all out? The results from Game 3 say they figure it out a little bit, which brings me to the point I was just trying to make. That Jaylen Brown aggressiveness starts because the Heat were playing a 2-3 zone that the fucking Celtics couldn't figure out. It's a high school zone that we played, Ray, at Raymond High School, and the Celtics couldn't beat it. They were trying to go penetration or high post, and what they did in this game is they started baseline with Jaylen Brown and let Jaylen Brown beat whoever he had baseline, which opens up the rest of the offense. He did that, I don't know, a handful of times in the first half, and the Heat went away from the zone completely. Mm-hmm. And that was Stevens. I don't know if it was specifically saying, let's get Jaylen Brown going. That was just identifying the defense and going, okay, we can't beat it with penetration because you guys don't know what you're doing. We can't beat it at high post because we have nobody that knows how to play the high post. So let's beat it on the baseline. Whoever plays baseline, that's Jaylen Brown. You can beat that guy off the dribble. Beat that guy off the dribble and make a play. Am I right, Ray? Is that?
Oh, you're right.
Am I seeing the same thing?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's the only way you can attack the zone. The NBA, you have defense at 3 seconds. So if you penetrate, there's going to be a wide open in the lane. So someone just has to make that cut, and Jaylen Brown loves working that baseline. So exactly what he has to do, game in and game out against the Heat.
Yeah, as much as we shit on Brad Stevens, let's give him credit on that one. That's got to be his call going, look, let's beat them from the baseline. Jaylen's a perfect guy for that. Jimmy Butler didn't play the end of the fourth quarter. Even when they got it back down to 5, they didn't put him back in the game. If he's hurt, give me the Lakers.
Yeah, he's a heart and soul, that team. But don't remember in the bubble too, they did beat the Celtics without Jimmy Butler. I don't think they can go on a run without Jimmy Butler, but they have beat the Celtics. They can't stop Dwight Bosch. He's been a difference maker in all 3 games.
That
and they
pick
have
and roll defense is ridiculous.
Yeah. He should have and easily could have won Most Improved Player of the Year over Ingram, I think, won it this year. So I mean, you're seeing it, the difference maker. The Celtics have no answer in the center position for him at all. You're seeing it with Cantor. They're trying to put Cantor in, who's a little more offensive, but they still have no answer.
Another hat tip to Brad on the Cantor move. Obviously, Cantor sucks in defense. He's a complete fucking liability. But to switch up the game plan for the Heat defensively. Throwing Cantor in there can get a bucket anytime he wants in the low post, and offensive rebounds is the name of his game. So if you want to give him 9-10 minutes a night and get 6 or 7 points, 10 points out of him as a relief, and and hope that his defense does not allow as many points as he can score down low, and give your guys a little bit of break on the perimeter. Make the Heat think about that low post and switch up their rotations a little bit. I kind of like what he's doing that with Cantor, but the Heat are exposing them. And to be fair, they'll expose everybody on this pick and roll with Adebayo, because you put Tyler Hero or Dragic on the wing, and that help defender cannot come off that guy because they're knockdown 3-point shooters. So you just run a 3-man game right there in a pick and roll on the high post, and like you're kind of fucked. The defense, the Celtics need to do a better job at pressing the ball handler, to not giving him open look to make that nice pass to Bam Adebayo, to have that 1 second or half second where the defense can rotate. They're not rushing the ball handler, and I would think that Brad Stevens could make that adjustment, but we've seen it now 2 games where Adebayo has gone off for a stretch there. And their centers can't handle it, so they need to rush that ball handler and make him go somewhere else.
It's like watching NBA Jam with those two.
Yeah,
alley-oop. It's like, Jesus Christ, you got to do something to stop that.
He's just so athletic. You have no shot.
Yeah.
And if you do make it past Miami, it's going to be the same problem with Anthony Davis too.
And that's why you're not seeing Robert Williams, Bill, because he sucks at defense. He would just, I mean, he'd be doing pirouettes.
Yeah, every time he's
paint.
pump faked, he's up in the air every single time. It's like clockwork. Yeah. You pump him, he's up in the air. You go around him, easy layup. It's like, dude, every time.
And the Heat have athleticism down there, and while Robert Williams' game is crashing the net, where Cantor can actually play a low post offense, and almost nobody in the NBA plays low post offense or defense anymore. So that's definitely an advantage. If Cantor could play a lick of defense, Jesus, would he be a fucking weapon?
Still only playing 6 minutes though. That you're just still spelling them. So you're getting 30 minutes out of your natural centers, because Tice played 24. So you went small a lot last night with Gordon Hayward playing 30 minutes. I mean, I actually don't mind their small lineup, because if you get your best players on the court, you play Tatum at the 5. I like that a lot. I mean, he's definitely, that's your offensive lineup right there. I mean, he can kind of match up a little bit with Dwight Bosch, but he's still not as tough around the rim as him. You know what I mean?
The thing with Dwight Bosch is he doesn't have a defined offensive game. So he's athletic going to the rim. And so you don't need size to really defend that. You need good footwork, positioning, and good team defense to defend that. So that's why I think they're getting away with the small defense. And let's give Grant Williams a little bit of credit there, because I think Grant Williams is having a hell of a fucking playoffs.
Yeah,
honestly.
And you take him out of the
rookie,
paint too.
Man.
Yeah, he's doing really well. And you take him out of the paint too. Like if you're playing Tatum at the 5, he kind of hovers around the 3-point line. So you're taking away that defensive rebound that he's kind of known for too. So I mean, it's helping, because now there's no one guarding the paint with Tatum. He's always around the 3-point line. So, I mean, you're kind of seeing that advantage right there, too.
Yeah. So let's I think, and I said this going into the playoffs, that the X factor for the Boston Celtics would be our guy, Glass Gordon. And he got hurt in the first game, and we haven't been able to see him in the playoffs. But his first game back, after turmoil in the locker room, blowing leads after blowing leads, did it not? I mean, he played 30 minutes, which is great. He didn't light up the stat sheet, but he had a couple fucking dimes. And he was active everywhere. I thought defensively and offensively. He's your best point guard on the team. That Heat zone went to shit as soon as they gave Hayward the ball. I just like the way Gordon Hayward plays basketball, and I think, like you said, Ray, coming off the bench, it gives you a 6th guy or a 7th guy. You don't have to rely on Brad Wanamaker or Marcus Smart making the plays that Gordon Hayward is now making, right? So I know you already said it, but if you want to reiterate that a little bit more, because as the biggest Gordon Hayward hater on the panel, I'd love to just hear you talk a little bit about how important he is and will be, and also not leaving the bubble for baby number 4, boy number 1.
He says that now. He's
not leaving the bubble, man. It's public.
Dude, they said she's not in early labor yet, but it's on the way, and Gordon Hayward has decided to stay. Come on. He's not going. He's staying.
He just spent a month there with her. He just went home there. Don't forget the meeting with Stevens and all those guys, too, or the topic of conversation was how to integrate Hayward back in the offense now that he was coming back healthy. So I mean, you kind of saw it. I don't know if they all agreed, but having him come off the bench is definitely the best option.
I wonder if Danny Ainge has something to say to him too. Be like, listen, you got hurt, you sprained your ankle. If you leave again to go have your wife's going into labor, having your first boy, that's gonna be a bad look on you. Like, you need to stay. Like, I don't know if there's someone from the higher ups that had to talk with him, because why would you all of a sudden change? He said before going to the bubble, I'm leaving when she goes into labor.
Because he got to go home.
He already went home. He got hurt, so we already spent the time there. Yeah, he's not going to see
go
it.
Spend time
you
home.
could probably FaceTime it, you know?
If you listen to Gordon
you would want to FaceTime that.
If you listen to Gordon Hayward's comments about his like home life and his wife and like
he hates
kind of
himself,
the demands that he has on that, he might be going out for cigarettes sometime soon.
Oh, we can go together. We'll carpool.
That's just coming from I don't know. Yeah. So for him to stay and play basketball, it might be the best for him and the family. Who knows? But either way, in terms of the Celtics' success, Gordon Hayward is a plus, and there's nothing else that needs to be said about that. And I think, Ray, your point is the best one, is because you now have
less Wanamaker, less
9 minutes
less
for
Tice.
Wanamaker last
I don't
night,
think
too.
Tice has been great lately. Less can't. It's your 5 best players, and you can get away with that against the Heat. And honestly, that's the difference. You can play Jalen, Jason, Marcus, Kemba, and Hayward all at once in this series at the end of the games if you want. And if you notice in the fourth quarter last game, Brad was switching guys out, defense, offense, size, non-size, getting guys fouls, giving not, Kemba would be out, Hayward would be out, Jalen would be out. He did go back to his original starting 5, really basically to end the game with Gordon Hayward on the bench. I'd
rather have him over Kemba there, though. I think Kemba's more of a
I thought that was because of the dust-up that they had in the locker room, and how fragile these guys' fucking egos apparently are. Oh, so Gordon comes back for one game, and now he gets to finish the game. Marcus has to sit on the bench. Chris Gasper had the only take that I agreed with on that whole dust-up, and he was giving Marcus Smart the business on his attitude, leadership, the way he behaves, which is basically what I've been saying. I think you guys have been on the same path. You're not fucking Allen Iverson, dude.
Right.
You're not Allen Iverson. Understand your role. You can be the captain on this team. You should be. You're the heart and soul of this team, but understand what your strengths are. When you're hot, you're hot. No problem. We'll feed it to you. Hit the open threes, hit your buckets. But in the fourth quarter, if you're going one-on-one against guys, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing?
Or on fast breaks, jacking up threes.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And that was game 3. That was game 3 in the fourth quarter. Marcus Smart made 2 or 3 terrible fucking shots. And in game 3, he had that terrible fucking decision going in the paint, got bailed out by getting a foul call there where he should have been draining clock with 40 whatever seconds left there and Celtics were up by 5. So, credit to Chris Gasper on that one. Marcus Smart, as the most tenured Celtic on the team, and he's not young anymore, people. He's a 5-year NBA veteran. He needs to understand who he is on an NBA court, especially on this team where you have 4 other fucking all-star caliber players. Dude, quarters 1 through 3, you want to shoot open threes? No problem. Fourth quarter, rebound, play defense, dive on the floor, flop your ass off for calls. I don't want to see him shooting anything unless it's a layup. Or if the clock's running down and they got nothing else and they kick it to him in the corner, he shits because he generally hits those shots with no time
he
left.
He does come up with big shots.
No.
Unless he's dribbling before. Unless he's dribbling his ass off before.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the problem with Mark Smart. So, what do you guys where's your expectations at moving on here to game 4 on Wednesday? So that's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That's 3 days off to the next game.
Good
Thank
math. You're welcome.
Thank you. Addition was always actually my strength.
I'm surprised you didn't go to your calendar to start counting the days. But, yeah, I think this is going to be awesome. I think this is a series now. I don't think the Celtics, after this game, they think that you can hang with the Heat. And I think the Heat are going to start backpedaling. I mean, if Jimmy Butler is actually hurt, this is not good for the Heat. And this is great for us having Gordon Hayward come back because, like I said, you won't see Brad Wanamaker as much anymore. You won't see Ojale anymore. Tice can come off the bench. You can have the 5 best players on your team play, and I think we can compete with the Heat with our 5 best players.
Yeah, you have the most talent in the series. I mean, you're starting like I said, the starting five that we could have with Hayward and Marcus Smart both in there, more talent. And you finally saw him. Like, it was a big boy win last night, even though that you almost blew a 20-point lead. But I mean, you're down. You're the first time you're trailing in a series. Now you're down 2-0. There's a lot of pressure on them, and they came back. I expect them to win game 4. I think they're showing some fight now. They're kind of playing. I think that the fight at the end of game 3 or game 2, I'm sorry, had a huge outcome on this game. I mean, it kind of brought everybody together. And you heard Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart were basically ready to get in a fist fight. And I forget who it was. Maybe Brad Stevens or Jason Tatum had to get in the middle of them and kind of bring those guys back together over like a FaceTime call or something or a phone call. So I mean, there was some real friction there. And now you kind of see them when your back's against the wall, down 2-0 in a great Miami Heat team with no superstars really outside of Jimmy Butler, whatever you want to call him. But I mean, you come back and win like that. So I mean, I think it puts a little more pressure on Miami now going forward. I know they're up 2-1, but you see how the Celtics played last game, and now you get another couple days to get Hayward more healthy. So, I mean, that 30 minutes, he could go up maybe towards 40. I mean,
Yeah.
I would rather kind of see him splitting time with Kemba. If you want to talk about end-of-the-game moments, I think Kemba's a liability on defense. I think Gordon Hayward's defense is very underrated. So I would like to see Kemba kind of come off the court late in the fourth quarter, especially when you need a defensive stop, instead of having Hayward on the bench. But I'm not the coach.
X's and O's, I don't totally agree with you. I think Daniel Tice has been a problem. And they're not going to go to Bam Adebayo in the fourth quarter.
No, I didn't say Tyson.
They're not
Like
gonna run
Kemba Walker, like getting him off. Like you can.
Well, who do you take off? I mean, who else is playing?
You could probably go to Tice. I mean, he's better.
You go to your five best. You go to your 5 best players at the end of the game.
But Tice is better defensive than Kemba, and I think Hayward's better defensive.
I don't think he is. I don't think he is. I think Tice has been really exposed this series, and in the fourth quarter and late crunch game situations, that Miami team's playing from the perimeter, and Daniel Tice is going to get fucking smoked. They're going to, if you, in late game situations in the fourth quarter, if Miami needs buckets, they are going from the perimeter with Dragic, Hero, or Butler. And if Tice is on the floor, they're going to identify that, pick and roll, get the switch, and Tice is going to have to defend one of those guys on the perimeter, and Hero's going to hit a 3 in his fucking eye.
Who?
So,
Hello.
So,
Some shitty shushy.
Size is one thing. I think Kemba Walker is actually an underrated good defender. His size, obviously people can shoot over him, but he doesn't allow people to get open shots. So I don't know about that. But my thought walking into game 4, same fucking team, same Celtics team, same exact fucking Celtics team. There's no difference. Zero difference except for Gordon Hayward. If Gordon Hayward can make a tangible difference on the court in terms of scoring, defense, playmaking, then that's a different story. In terms of the dust up in the locker room and coming up, you blew a 20-point fucking lead in the fourth quarter. You did the same shit you did 2 games in a row. You did it 3 games in a row. You just got away with it in game 3 because Jimmy Butler didn't play the last 5 minutes of the fucking game. This Celtics team hasn't shown me shit. I'm not excited about anything. I fully expect the same exact game in game 4. And if they can figure something out, if they can not go to that prevent offense when they're winning, if they can have another okay third quarter, I guarantee they'll get a lead in the first half, and we'll see if they fucking blow it. I expect the same exact thing. And if they can make the mental if Brad Stevens can make the adjustments on the court and his players can make the mental adjustments of staying in tune to the game, then they should win. They're the better team. They're more talented by about 20 fucking points, as we've seen every game. But I don't have confidence that they can. And until it's 2-2, I'm not saying it's a series. I still think I think I have more confidence in the Heat winning this than the Celtics, hands down. I mean, it's gonna be the same exact game. It's going to be the same exact game that we saw, and it's just a matter if the Celtics can execute or not. In these past 3 games, I would say they have not, even though they won the last one. They blew a 20-point fucking lead in the fourth quarter. They have not executed down the stretch yet. I don't even know if they executed in game 7 down the stretch against the Raptors. I think the Raptors just started missing shots. Kyle Lowry fouled out. So, I don't know. I'm glad they won. Keep stretching it out. I like playoff basketball. They didn't make my heart palpitate as much as they did in games past. But yeah, make it a series. I'd love to see it go 7. I'd love to see go sim. They
Oh, yeah.
should fucking win. If they lose this, it's a disappointment. It's a disappointment. You got a hard look in the mirror. And if Marcus Smart keeps bitching at people, he might be gone. Let's go to the Patriots real quick. So some last thoughts. We didn't quite get to it the last show we did because Billy Rambles was in full effect, absolute full effect. So let's go ahead and touch on some of those things that we brushed upon last time. What's your temperature? Now, for the listeners, obviously, we're recording this this will be released on Monday, but we're recording it before the Patriots game. So you're going to get our last-minute thoughts before these guys tip off or kick off. What is your temperature, Bill, on N'Keal Harry on the New England Patriots?
My temperature? It's down. It's definitely down for sure. I mean, he's not living up to a first-round pick. I mean, 5 catches for 37 yards were career highs for first-round draft pick. You know, he was hurt. I think he's have a shoulder injury entering this game tonight. So I mean, you're already kind of seeing he's soft coming out.
He's always fucking hurt.
Yeah,
isn't
the
he?
word coming out of college that he was a gamer. He was always playing. You started last year on IR. I mean, I think it's good. I think Cam Newton's probably the best thing for him. Truthfully, I think because you're going to kind of see him pick. He kind of stuck up for him with the shitty fumble in his press conference this week. You know, outlining kind of some of the impact plays that he did make during the game. So I mean, you're seeing your quarterback kind of stick up for him. I like to think they have some good chemistry, so maybe he'll start feeding him the football. It's supposedly supposed to be a passing game this game for all the stuff we're kind of hearing now. So I mean, I'm still down until I see a fucking big boy game out of him. He's still in the blue for me.
Raymond?
Like Bill kind of mentioned, if this was last year and Tom Brady was still here, the guy that's dead to us, I would be very worried because obviously he wouldn't give up. He would give up on him and not give him any targets. But Cam's here. Cam's praised him. They have a connection. They did work out in the offseason. I think, yeah, you had a bad game. You had a stupid fumble in the end zone. But let's see what he does against the Seahawks. If he has a big game against the Seahawks, I mean, it's just going to keep giving that momentum, give him that little extra juice to get him through the season. And he could be that first-round wide receiver that we drafted and look good, you know?
I mean, I'd be happy with 5 catches a game, but 37 yards, got to go more than that.
Oh, yeah. He should have had one broken at one point, but that fucking smaller cornerback.
Yeah, he went down like a little bitch.
Yeah.
His first catch.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to say. What I want to say is N'Keal Harry stinks. He's always going to stink. He lacks the speed. He lacks the skill. He doesn't have the hands. He doesn't know how to run a route in the NFL. He lacks the skills to be a NFL productive wide receiver. Never mind the first-round draft pick. He will never, ever, ever, ever make that first-round draft pick worth it.
Nope.
Never. He's a bust. In that regard, he's a bust. Bill, your point, best thing to happen to N'Keal Harry is Cam Newton, because Cam Newton is a quarterback that waits for guys to get open, then throws to him. N'Keal Harry is not a precise route runner. So
The worst in the league at separation last year.
Worst in the league at separation. Thank you, Billy Focus, jerk off guy. The N'Keal Harry in a Tom Brady precision 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 throw offense is cut this year. Flat out cut. In a Cam Newton offense, he might see 4 or 5 catches a game for 40 or 55 yards and maybe a touchdown here and there. That's it. That's the best you can hope for, Patriots fans. That's the best you can hope for on N'Keal Harry. I don't think he's a difference maker. I don't think he's a gamer. He's constantly fucking hurt. I don't have it, obviously his confidence is not great. They said he lost weight, and you could tell because he was getting his ass clipped by fucking cornerbacks for what is he, 6'5" or something, 6'4"?
Yeah, the guy that hit him down
giant.
is smaller than me and Ray. Went down like a fucking.
You're gonna have to do N'Keal Harry if you're listening. I know you are. You're gonna have to do a little bit more to earn the trust and affection from Patriots Nation here. In that first round pick, I won't even hold it over you anymore. Just be productive, because he's literally the only guy we have, because Edelman's not making it more than a couple weeks here. His knee is going to –
No, you just shut down Edelman too. That's what you're going to double team Edelman the whole time. You need someone, because Bird can't do it. So you need Harry. Gunnar Olszewski's on IR. So, I mean, Myers was an absolute no-show last week. So, I mean, you need one of these guys. You need anybody of these to step up.
Thank you, Bill. Excellent transition, Rain Man. So there's nobody on this wide receiving core that can play for the New England Patriots. You making a trade? Are you making a trade? Because we're a little late on this, but Allen Robinson is still out there. I know that he's walked back his comments about the trade. Obviously, we had the OBJ shit talk, if you would,
Which Cleveland just came out today and said they're not
Yeah.
trading.
They're
They're not going
trading
to trade him, and the Patriots wouldn't trade for him because his price tag's too high, and he's too much of a diva, and I wouldn't want him either. But I think the answer is easy. Should the Patriots make a deal? Harder question, will the Patriots make a deal? Raymond?
Yes and yes, but we need slot help. As you said, Edelman, 34.
Slot help? Bill's mom's available.
Yep.
Well, she's in Tampa, so she's with Tom, so that's not available. But yeah, I think that's our bread and butter is a slot game. You know, those quick slants. We don't have anyone anymore. Edelman's 34. He's as old as Bill is. Can't run like he used to. We need someone that's young, can catch the ball over the middle, and don't give a fuck about head injuries and just keep going. So that's what we need. So when we do make a trade, it's going to be for someone we've never heard of before, or Bill will because he reads Pro Football Focus every week. But someone that Rich and I have never heard of.
Raymond doesn't read numbers. He just sees it like the Matrix.
Yes.
And then it gets hard boners and busts constantly.
But it's going to be something like that. We're just going to scratch our heads, and then when 3 games in, we're going to be like, oh, now I get why we traded for him.
I think that's the right answer if Tom Brady's here. I don't know what to expect with Cam Newton, Bill. I don't know. Is the slot, is the short, skinny, fast, quick little white guy in the slot the best thing for the Patriots offense now that Tom Brady is not the quarterback? Because that's his bread and butter. The dude Scotty Miller there in Tampa Bay that no one's ever fucking heard of is going to go for 115
Another white guy,
catches.
too.
He's going to go for 115 catches in Tampa because that's who Brady throws to. Is that Cam's guy? We know Greg Olsen ate shit up in Carolina with Cam, and McCaffrey, who is just an absolute stud. They worked a lot with Cam. I don't know. Steve Smith was an excellent wide receiver who had success with Cam Newton. He worked the outside. So
he used it down the field.
I don't know what they're going to do, Ray. Well, Bill, let me hear you. What do you think? I think that the answer is yes. Of course, they need to get someone at wide receiver. It's the worst position group on the team by bar none.
NFL too.
Will they? I think yes. I think Bill Belichick has to recognize what his situation is, just in terms of depth, and go, we got to go do something. Are you with Ray? Are they going to identify that type of receiver, or are they just what do you expect out of Belichick in the wide receiver core here?
Should they make move? Yes. Will they make move? I'm on the fence because I don't know what's available. I don't think a slot receiver is going to be the best for this team because I don't think you're playing the quick strike offense. That's a Brady strength is not a Cam strength. I would like to see him go get a receiver that can get down the field, use Cam's arm. He's got a powerful arm and he can get the football down the field. I'd rather see them go get a guy that could kind of work the defense down the sidelines and kind of open up the defense here.
Don't you have that in Harry and Bird? Aren't those
Harry? No,
but
Bird, yeah, but
he'll kill Harry's strength coming out of college was he can go up and get the ball. Isn't that his best attribute as a wide receiver? Is he can go.
Yeah,
up and
but
get
he's
the
not
ball?
doing it in the NFL. So you address that. Someone that can stretch the defense. I don't think a short slot receiver is going to help this team much because it's not a strength to Cam Newton. Even when he was throwing Greg Olsen was still getting down the field. It wasn't these 3 or 4 yard routes and kind of letting Julian Edelman run with the football after the catch. That's not in Cam's game. You want to get a tight end. Tight end is what they should really focus on. They need a guy that can catch the football.
Let's do the Zach Ertz thing again.
No, I'm not going to do the Zach Ertz thing, but I'm just saying he's like –
he didn't look good today.
That's where they need to address. They need to get tight end help. You're seeing our rookies making 0 contributions, and Izzo one catch. That's it. I want to see
they're
more.
rookies, Bill, right? Asiasi and Dalton Keene. This Patriots team has never been known for rookies coming in and being effective on either side of the ball in the rookie year. They really slowly work these guys in. So let's see how that shakes out. I'm not totally off the totem pole game plan here because when they did throw the ball in week 1, it was slant to Edelman, slant to Harry, slant to Edelman, play action, slant to Harry. That is still the Patriots offense. That hasn't changed with Cam Newton. It'll just be, they have. My opinion, will they, should they? They have to. They fucking have to. So let's see what they get. This has been the Simple Minds Sports Show, Monday headlines, September 21st. Thanks for joining. Tune in on Fat Tuesday, where we'll be talking about something.
You want to keep going?
Where do you want to go?
Well, you sent NFL early games, UFC, and MLB bubble.
We can do. Bill, you want to jerk off on the USC?
I could jerk off in the UFC. There's a couple good fights last night.
There's a lot of things that happened in the early games, though. Tons and tons of people got injured today.
Oh yeah, San Francisco's fucked.
Yeah.
They lost
Okay.
everybody.
Yeah, sure. Well, lucky you listeners, we're doing an extended version of the Simple Mind Sports Show Monday Headlines Edition, September 21st. Didn't even look.
Nice job, Richard.
Nice
job.
Absolutely. We are recording this after the 1 o'clock games on Sunday. So let's just touch on some of the biggest takeaways from the 1 o'clock game. Raymond, I know that you've been watching. Bill, I know your fantasy team that we don't give a shit about really got decimated by the Cowboys and some other folks. But
Aaron Jones can suck my dick.
Aaron Jones, baby. Speaking of fantasy football,
52 points in my league. Him and Dak at 106 points
Nobody
combined.
cares.
And don't talk about it.
Bill Raymond, what do you got on the 1 o'clock games coming out of Sunday?
Four things.
Well, go
I'll
on.
make it quick. Injuries.
We'll probably get through two.
Saquon Barkley, torn ACL. Jimmy G, ankle, out 4 to 6 weeks. Raheem Morris, knee. Nick Bosa, knee. Drew Lock, shoulder. Cam Akers, Byron Jones, all out. This is why we have a preseason, boys.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Number two, how is Dan Quinn still an NFL coach in this league? This is the second time he's blown a 20-point league. Thank God for 2020, baby. The only thing normal is that the Atlanta Falcons still blow leads like nobody's business. Third, Buffalo Bills fans are the worst people in the world. You go and play the Jets, then you go play the Dolphins. You act like you just won the fucking Super Bowl. Fucking Taco, fucking Tim, and Mueller sucked my balls. Third,
specific shout-outs.
Third, I get why when Tom Brady was the quarterback in New England, why everyone hated us. Watching him play in Tampa, I was rooting for the Carolina Panthers because that stupid little dink fucking yelling at all his receivers and playing like garbage. I get it. I get it now.
Who covered that game? Who covered that game? Just checking. Thanks.
Full on Brady's dead to me retort there from the number 11 wearing Raymond.
Not
Raymond
Drew
Lindsay.
Bledsoe. Not Drew Bledsoe.
Not
It's a
Drew
shame.
Bledsoe, number 11 on the Patriots. Bill, what are you taking out of week 2 1 o'clock games?
All the injuries, like Ray just mentioned, I mean, that's huge. I think preseason has a big part of it. I mean, I don't know if the ACL, you could tear an ACL whenever you can. I mean, Bosa got kind of rolled up on. Shaquan Barkley got kind of the same thing thrown down.
What'd you call him? Shaka
Yeah.
Khan?
Shaquan, whatever his stupid name is.
Saquon. No S there, you dumb fuck.
Saquon Barkley. Sorry. But
Bill's-
no, I mean, you kind of
Bill's
saw it.
old, ignorant, like just kind of okay that you're a little racist, can't pronounce black guys' names. Like that's just coming through a little bit.
I can't pronounce white guys' names, so what does it fucking matter?
Fair enough. You're just
No, but again, and then-
words no good. Numbers money.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and then Dallas and Atlanta. You know, I picked Atlanta. I think Rich, you and I both picked Atlanta to cover that, and you should just watch Dan Quinn piss that away again. You let dude, how do you onside kick? I get it.
Did I
Did go
pick
10.
Atlanta?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What the fuck was I thinking?
yeah.
Eh, well,
But I mean, you saw the onside kick. That thing fucking just rolled 10 yards. They were all standing around
They were
watching it roll.
standing.
Why isn't
They were-
Atlanta just jumping on the football? You were right there. You had 3 guys there. Just jump on the fucking football, and the game is over. Instead, you let it roll 10 yards. Dan Quinn deserves to get fired. Come on, dude. Come on. They had a 2% chance of winning that game, and they let Dallas march up and down the field in the fourth quarter and win that game. They were up, 26-0 early? So, I mean, dude, come on. That is a fucking joke.
Speaking of getting fired, when does Matt Patricia get fired?
I said by their bye week, but I think
Could be earlier now.
Next week. I think you might even see him get fired on Monday, but teams usually wait till the bye week because then you get that extra week to kind of revamp your coaching staff or
Has
try
he
to
had
implement
anybody
stuff.
play for him? And this is what is his second or third year there?
Third year?
Has anybody on that Detroit Lions team decisively played for Matt Patricia?
No,
Mm.
they
I
should
don't
be
think
1-1. They should be 1-1. They, Swift
they all
dropped
hate him.
Swift dropped an easy touchdown that would have beat Chicago
They
last
hated
week.
him since
but,
he
yeah.
got there.
Yeah, the first
I don't think
week.
he hasn't turned around the locker room. He
Nope.
just
Nope.
sucks. He sucks. That being said, are the Packers back?
Yeah. I think so.
Not yet because Detroit sucks, and then Minnesota got decimated by a shitty indie team this week. So we'll see. I want to see him play someone better.
Is Indy shitty?
They were last week against Jacksonville. I don't think they
I don't know
played
if
that
there
great either.
shitty last week. I think they choked last week.
I
They were a
believe you
good
had him
team
in your
last
top
year.
10, Bill.
Yeah,
I
you
did,
had him
but
in
I'm
their
kinda-
fucking top 10.
I'm kind of regretting that, but
I think that they got
my
the-
boy
they-
Titans are winning now.
They got the Phil Rivers effect last week. I think that the Colts are a solid, good team built from the inside out. Good defense, and Phillip Rivers is never going to win anything because he is the worst fourth quarter quarterback potentially in NFL history. But I don't think Indy's that bad. I think Green Bay is legit. I think Aaron Rodgers is fucking pissed on a mission. I think you got two. Shut up, Bill. I think you got the 2014 Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers right now with them drafting Jordan Love, and he's out to fucking prove everybody wrong. And when you got that much talent and that much motivation, look out, NFC. Green Bay is coming for yo ass. Miami sucks. Miami sucks. Miami will always suck. Fucking A.
They're rebuilding still.
They're still rebuilding. Just unbelievable. Just who in the right mind ever puts any stock in the Miami Dolphins, Bill?
Not me. Ray does, though. Ray thought they were a threat.
Both of you thought that they were going to be a reputable team building something. Brian Flores kind of put his thumb on something down there.
Let's see what happens when Tua gets there, all right?
Okay.
Hold judgment until Tua
let's
comes.
see. Let's continue to wait and see what happens with the fucking Miami Dolphins. Losers, always going to be losers. Never going to change. You suck. What does it say about the Bills?
Nothing.
They beat the Jets and
the Dolphins.
Who cares? And we let the Dolphins score 11 points. How much did the Bills score? 21. 21. So, therefore, our defense therefore is better than the Bills.
Classic Dr. Big Mac math right there. And I like that you phrased it. We let the Dolphins score 11 points. If we decided to, as Patriots fans, not allow you to score any points, Dolphins,
you wouldn't have. Nope.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Believe that.
Yeah.
Bill, big UFC night.
Yeah, it was great
You were
fights.
interrupting my rage and fury watching the Celtics blow a 20-point lead in the fourth quarter, consistently texting me about the UFC and how amazing it was, and I wanted to kill myself after strangling you. So why don't you give us the rundown of your favorite sport, the UFC, and what went down last night? Go ahead there.
Right. I'm going to start with
Billy Battering Ram.
Our favorite fighter being the Big Macs. That didn't hold up there, right, Rich? But Shemaev, 17-round knockout. You know,
17 second.
What's that?
17 second. You said 17 round.
Oh, sorry, 17 seconds. First punch. He knocked him out in the first punch, and then he kind of hit him a few more after that. And then Colby Covington versus Tyrone Woodley, the main event. Colby Covington, giant racist, but destroyed Woodley, who's a 38-year-old fighter, and even Dana at the end of the fight said he should be holding it up. He broke his ribs. Covington broke his ribs. Woodley snapped a rib, and I think got punched there. But good fight. I mean, Covington's the number probably 3 guy in the that division. Usman's a title holder, and they kind of went at each other after, and Covington was getting pretty racist, telling me he's from some like island tribe or some shit. He's from Nigeria and all that. Then the president called him in the post-fight after. So, I mean, they want to fight each other. He wants to fight Usman again, but he's got to wait till the Burns fight. But he should get a title fight. But our boy, the Wolf, his third fight in 66 days, third knockout in 66 days, last 3 fights, 66 punches landed to 2 for the opponents. So, I mean, this guy is a fucking monster. Give this guy a title shot yesterday.
How is he not ranked? How is he not ranked right now? I don't get it.
He's still young. He's only been in the UFC. I think he's only had 4 or 5 fights in the UFC, but he's got another fight next month. He's on one of the 254 or 255 pay-per-view cards. After that, man, he might get a. Yeah, I see it, Rich. He might get a title shot after that.
All right. Nice summary, Billy Bad Words. Here's the thing. You think the UFC will ever like adapt what NASCAR did where you have your races or you have your fights, but you have an actual season and you accumulate and you get points? Because this has been the struggle I've always had when I've tried to get into fighting. Is like it's just there's no real end. There's no accumulation to the whole thing. It's just like, all right, there's just continuously something on the fucking belts are around and they're not on the line, and then this guy's fighting, now this guy's fighting. It's like there's no driving towards anything. I think that if the UFC or something took up that approach, they would gain a lot of popularity.
I don't think so.
Okay. Ray, do you have any thoughts on that? On the fights, Miami?
I'll be honest. I didn't watch the fights last night. I was watching the Boston Celtics, so I apologize. But
Well,
again,
welcome to Boston because that's what everyone else was except for fucking Billy
Phil.
Trashcan Bad Words and his
I
gray
shut off when
beard.
they were up for fucking 20. I switched over when I wanted to see the fights. Sorry, God forbid.
no, but Shimov,
Shemaev?
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 That one punch knocked that guy fucking straight. I watched the highlights this morning on ESPN Plus. My goodness, like that was just a shot, and the guy was like in la la land, all fucking. The doctors were trying to shake him to wake him up. It was amazing. This guy.
He said he was going to knock him out too. It was funny.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan. I was texting you. I'm like, how's this guy not in the title talk? Obviously, like you just said, there's only been 4 fights in the UFC, but he's fun to watch, especially if he keeps getting these first round knockouts.
Boys,
Gonna be a monster.
The Red Sox won today, 10-2 over the Yankees.
Yep.
Not yesterday.
Not yesterday or the day before. Good for them. Here's what I quickly wanted to touch with you guys. The MLB has finalized their playoff bubble for the playoffs. Let me just read you exactly what this means. The MLB, Major League Baseball and its players union reached agreement Tuesday on the format for expanded 16-game postseason, which will see the final 3 rounds played in controlled neutral sites bubbles in Southern California, Texas, and the World Series at Texas Rangers' new stadium in Arlington. The World Series and Championship Series also could allow a limited number of fans. That's per Commissioner Rob Manfred. Under this year's postseason format, the 8 best of the 3 opening round series will be played at home stadiums of the better seeded team, the way that it's always normally done. The remaining teams will then move into bubbles, with the 2 American League Division Series played in Dodger Stadium and at Petco Park in San Diego, and the NL Houston Minute Maid Park in Arlington's Global Field. The respective LLCS will be played in San Diego, with Game 1 of the World Series starting on October 28th.
No, at World Series is in Texas, right?
Yeah,
In Arlington.
Yeah.
This comes in quotation. Because of the later rounds will be played at neutral sites, MLB has eliminated travel days for the divisional series of the LLCS, meaning the former will be played over 5 consecutive days and the latter over 7, so less days in between. The World Series, per tradition, will retain its days off between games 2 and 3 and between games 5 and 6, even though those games will be played in Arlington in a bubble. Game 7 of the World Series, if necessary, on October 28th. Here's my overall point. Why the fuck is there a bubble? Why are you doing a bubble now for the playoffs? Because you're afraid of some guys getting COVID in the playoffs where you weren't afraid of them getting in the regular season? Is that really that big of is that really necessary? Is baseball overstepping again? Naturally, are they overstepping again? Because seemingly as much shit as we gave them for not handling their COVID situation, the Marlins situation going into Philly, the St. Louis situation going up to the strip clubs and whatever else where COVID had run rampant a couple times, it's kind of been a non-fucking story. The Mets got a couple guys that shut down a game. I can't really remember anything else out of every game being played. So I don't know. The first thought I had in mind, I understand that you're eliminating all risk here, but the first thought I had in mind was, all right, baseball, like too little, too late. You're overstepping again, just making things too fucking complicated for no goddamn reason. That was my first thought. Did you have anything?
May I answer you?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yes. The only reason why I think he's doing it in Arlington is because, as I said today, the Cowboys had fans in their stadium. Obviously, Texas is allowing people to go. So I think Rob Manfred just wants fans in the stadium for when the World Series starts, even if it's half capacity.
They had 20,000 in Dallas today.
Do you think that's a good?
21,000.
Do you think that's a good reason to?
My second point. Nope. My second point. Do you know where the biggest COVID problems are in the United States right now?
Florida and Texas.
Oh, you got one right.
California.
The other one,
California
and Texas. So, where are the 2 bubbles? Texas and California. So that I don't get at all. Why you'd be bringing baseball to those 2 states? But hey, whatever. Baseball's just trying to make some noise, and that's what they're doing.
Well, in the states that have the NBA has been able to do it in Florida, which when they went there was the worst place in the country.
No fans.
Right, no fans. Yeah, if they start bringing fans, that's kind of a different story. Ray, your internet fucking sucks, dude.
Terrible.
I don't know, Bill. Is this like an overreach for them to get some fans in the World Series for the PR of it all? It's just for the visual of having fans in the stands in the World Series on October 28th, which football is running. Are people going to watch the World Series?
I don't think so. With football going on, you know, especially if there's teams that no one cares about, like the Chicago White Sox or Toronto Blue Jays, Tampa. Like you want some big market teams. I mean, I guess the Chicago teams would be good, St. Louis, the Dodgers, but everything else, you're talking low market teams. It's not outside the Yankees. You know, I mean, and they're kind of clinging for playoff life now. I mean, they have to run off 11 games in a row just to kind of clinch back in. So I mean, I think the bubble, they're kind of seeing the bubble of the NBA and the NHL, and I think it's more has to do with the fact that they don't want to lose guys to COVID when you kind of saw it during the season. I don't think they just want to bubble their guys so you don't have a St. Louis situation, or you don't have a Miami Marlins situation where they're going out. So I mean, bubble them up. They're seeing it. NBA and NHL haven't had a positive test in the bubble, so I think that's where the biggest thing's coming from. I think they're more worried about, you know, kind of seeing COVID come with the extra travel. I think
I'm with Ray on this. I think I'm with Ray on that. If you can get fans in the stands, that's a nice visual for the MLB on TV, and that's their plan. So they're going to make, you know, the entire playoff or most of the playoff teams go into a bubble in the worst states for COVID, so they can get some stands in the fans in the stands. Yeah, I don't know. It's just so easy to shit on baseball in the MLB. I all them automatically like all just go right to like you're fucking up. So, but I don't know. I guess I can see it. Like you want to get fans in the stands and make that step. Sure. I just think it's probably an unnecessary step for baseball at this point. And honestly, as Red Sox fans, it doesn't really mean shit to us. I'm just concerned they don't fuck up the number 1 overall pick. And the kid, Hawk? Did we talk about him yet?
Taylor Hawk pitched really well today.
Oh, yeah,
with
really good.
Yankees. Really good.
Really
2
good.
wins. He's got 2 wins and 2 starts now. I think he beat who did he beat? Toronto the first game. I don't remember who it was. But the Yankees, he looked really good today. 6 innings strong. So I mean, he's got strikeout power. He's our number 1 pitching prospect, and this is what you want to see.
I don't want to extend this too much longer, but there is a buzz in New England and Boston coming around on Hyman Bloom and the decisions that he's making. They're calling that that deal with the Phillies that sent Brandon Workman a steal at this point.
Yeah, although Workman and Hembry have been downright dumpster fires for Phillies.
Could have told you that, Philly. But there's a little buzz going around in Boston that the Hyman Bloom train is taking off as we're getting into the Boston Red Sox offseason not too shortly here. So let's see. Well, but the Hoa kid's not Bloom, so I don't know. We'll see how it works out. Red Sox are dead to me until they change their attitude. You guys got any last thoughts? Open forum here. Sunday open forum. Any last thoughts to share with the listeners as we walk in? Patriots starting in T-minus an hour and 20 minutes.
Score predictions. Who you got?
This is a tough one, man.
New England 24, Seattle 20.
Interesting. No, Seattle's going to come close to 30. 27 for Seattle, 24 Patriots. Ooh. Even though I think in our early lines I had Patriots clearing the.
Yeah, you did. You had.
That's still clear the spread.
You both picked.
Is it 4.5? Was it
4.5? 4.5. Yeah. 31-21 Seattle.
Ooh, you think it's going to be that? You think it's going to be? I don't know if they can throw on him, man. Sorry, this has been the Simple Mind Sports Show. Extra edition Monday headlines, September 21st.
You almost made it.
Ooh, almost.
Tune in tomorrow for our Fat Tuesday, where we'll be discussing the topic that Ray, Dr. Totem Pole, Dr. Big Mac Totem Pole most desires, which we don't know yet. We'll find out.
Fast food chains.
Ooh, food chain.
I'm down for that.
Okay, we could switch it up a little bit. It's been tense here. Playoff bubbles, Patriots getting started, Bruins breaking our heart.
Top 5 fast food chains.
Ooh, okay.
Maybe
we'll go crazy tomorrow on Fat Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye. Bye. 10-point game.
That's bold, Arnold.
I like Seattle this week a lot. I don't know until we.
Dude,
You played Miami
Atlanta
last week.
fucking smoked them on all, in terms of offensive production.
You put up 21 against a shitty Miami team, so this is a real challenge now. And again, going on the road, Seattle's a tough place to play. I get it; they don't have fans, but Russell Wilson's playing at another level. Give me Seattle by 10.
You
Go
staying
on,
up for the
better than
game? You staying up for the game, Billy Boy?
Ooh, that's a better question.
I plan on it. It's a plan.
That took me a long time to make.
Well, you should make the file bigger because you can't expand it without it turning into shit.
I'm new to it. Leave me alone. Ooh, go to yeah. Damn it! Perfect. Perfect. Billy Bad Boys.